As you can see, Sam and I are working on a big rig today. We've got a bit of a fan problem.
That's right. You know, and this is pretty common. If you ever had this happen, this thing's got bearings that have gone out. It's really roaring. The fan clutch, of course, can come apart. If you let it go like that, it'll come out right through your radiator, your intercooler, your condenser. It's not a good thing.
Not at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace it. So Sam, while you're taking care of that, I'm going to get the new parts.
Thank you, buddy. I'll go ahead and get some of these hoses out of the way and get this unit off.
What I got here is a brand new parts for our fan clutch. Plus, I ran into a real expert that knows how to work this, Brian Swanson from Kit Masters. And Brian, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Dave.
Now,
that's heavy. Good to see you, Brian. I got a mess. I got coolant everywhere. I'm going to go clean up.
All right.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, here we go. Brian, we got the clutch off here. Now, you get this thing off. What are some of the options that the guys have out there?
Well, a guy can buy a brand new fan clutch. A guy can buy a remanufactured fan clutch. Or a guy can put a remanufactured fan clutch in himself.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. And a lot of the independent operators, owner-operators, like to do that, like to rebuild their own stuff.
Sure.
Saves them some money.
You'll definitely save them some money.
Okay, so now the first step in taking this apart is what? What do you got to watch for?
The first thing is to take this fan plate off. And to do that, we're going to take our impact wrench. We're going to make sure that we set our gun to loosened. And when we're loosened, despite the fact it says center thread left hand on there.
Okay, so we'll put this in here.
And we're going to need to take a little pry bar and put it in there so that doesn't turn.
There we
There you
go.
Comes right off.
Okay, so the next step is what?
The next step is to take the caging tool from our kit and to put the caging tool over the spring housing.
All right, now that's what we're talking about here is a caging tool. So we'll put this over here, put our socket in there, and get the thread started, and then spin her on down. Now, what this is going to do what?
This is right now the spring housing is being caged by the friction material. So if we take the friction material off without putting that caging tool on there, it'll pop up.
It'll pop up. Okay.
So now we're free to take the friction material out.
All right. So just snug it in there, right?
That's hand tightened is fine.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape here.
You can see on here that this friction material is showing signs of excessive heat.
Yep.
That excessive heat is likely what caused those pulley
All right,
bearings
you
to
can
go
see
bad.
a lot of cracks and stuff in that. All right. So next step now is what?
Next step is take a little bit of shot air and we're going to put it into the.
Okay.
And that's just all we're going to try to do is get this spring housing up. But a little air will assist it.
Where do we put it?
I think it's going to come in right there.
Oh, okay. I see. I got you. All right, ready?
Yep, and then you should just take that right off.
Oh, that's easy. All knowing how, isn't it, bud?
That's right.
All right, so we got that off. And now what?
Next step is there's a retaining ring in there. Nothing to it.
Well, that comes out easy enough. All right, we got that out.
And then you're just going to take your same screwdriver and there's a little air chamber cap. You're going to pry that out.
Right here?
Yep.
There we go. All right, now here's what he's talking about, air chamber cap.
And there's an O-ring on there and a face seal. All that can get thrown away.
Okay.
Okay, and the next step is to take out the...
Take out this big nut?
Yep.
There we go. All right, so now we got our nut out. What goes next here?
Next step is to take that retaining ring out in the air cartridge.
Okay, oh, I see where you're talking about, right there. Here. Okay, here we go. All right, that's out.
And the next step would be to take out the air cartridge itself with a little needle nose pliers.
Where do we do that? Okay. Oh, this? Oh, that blue thing? Mm-hmm. All right.
That's the air cartridge assembly.
All right, now here's what we're talking about. Now you see, that's a little grimy in there.
That can get thrown away too.
Okay, so now this is what we have left.
The next step is to take the pulley off of the bracket and shaft.
Okay, how do we do that?
Pull it up.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Brian, well, now we got it down to this stage. We can press out the bearings. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to show you how to put this all back together. Stick around. Well, Brian and I got everything cleaned up here. We got the bearings pressed out, everything washed up, ready to go back together. Now, Brian, before we go back together, a couple little points you wanted to point out on this.
I just want to make sure that people know when they clean these surfaces, they want to inspect the shaft and the inside of the pulley. You want to feel for any kind of grooves in there that the bearings might have caused. If there are grooves in there, that's going to make this fan clutch not rebuildable. From there, you're going to have to go to remanufactured brand new fan clutch.
Okay, so well, this one feels really good, and this one you can still feel actually the machine mark when they machined it out. So
both of them feel pretty good to me too.
All right, we got 2 new bearings that come with our remanufacturing kit. Here they are. You got our spacers.
And these are the spacers that we saved from when we pressed the old bearings out.
So you want to save those, make sure you don't throw them away. All right, let's take this over and we'll press these in. All right, slide it on there. Hey, good deal.
Let's do it.
This is the way it's supposed to. Now we go ahead and we'll put on our retaining nut. This goes on really one way. This little collar goes down to the bottom, right?
That's correct.
All right, so we'll put that on and we'll torque that to 125 foot-pounds. Okay, Brian, so now I got the little air cartridge on here and you want to lube up these O-rings, right?
Yep, just a little bit of extra lube on there.
So there's a little package of lube that comes with it. Now, the question I have is, what about all this stuff here that we took out of there? Do any of that kind of stuff have to go back in here?
All the stuff right here that we took out, we're just going to dispose of. We're not going to use any of that.
So this makes it a lot easier then, doesn't it?
Just one, going to be one little piece after this.
All right, so we slide this in here.
Mm-hmm.
Want to make sure you don't mess with the O-rings too much.
Yep.
Get it in there, push it in by hand, and then just go ahead and push her down. You want to tap it just a little bit there?
That's it.
That's easy enough to do.
That's easy.
Okay, now we got that set.
You got a little retaining ring to put in there?
All right, we got this right here, so we'll put that in there so that keeps the little
Air cartridge assembly.
in there. So let me put that in there. There's what I'm looking for. You always want to make sure that snaps in, and it does. That's good.
Perfect.
Always want to check that when you're putting in a retaining ring like that. Now the next step is what?
Next step is to drop the GoldTop on top of the fan clutch.
All right, and here we go. And believe it or not, this is what replaces all of that, right?
That's correct.
That's what makes it so much nicer. So we just set it on there, get our holes lined up, and we'll go ahead and put in our new bolts.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
All right, so let me go ahead. We'll get started on that, and we'll button this up. By the way, they also send a
T55.
T55 Torx for you, too. And these already come with a little bit of thread locker on there, which is always good.
We should note that one of the primary reasons these fan clutches fail is because of these bigger fan blades are spinning so hard, it's hard for this fan clutch to engage these new fan blades. And on this GoldTop, not only would we make it a lot easier to install, but we also almost doubled the amount of torque that fan clutch provides. So it's really going to grab on and hold those fan blades.
So you really upgrade this thing, don't you?
It's easier to install, and it's a pretty significant upgrade.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and we'll get these in and get these all torqued down. Then we can take it to the next step. All right, now we got it all set, and you want to make sure you torque these to their specifications, which is important. You know, Brian, now this is a pretty simple unit to go together. I was surprised, man. This one unit takes care of all that stuff there, so it's easy to go together. The question I have is, if people want to learn more about it, how do they find out?
Easiest thing to do would be to go to our website. It's kitmasters.com, and on there's some good installation videos, installation instructions, and a pretty good cross-reference guide.
Good deal. So for you guys want to do your own remanufactured unit, there you have it. Okay, pal, it's all ready for you to install.
Absolutely me to install. All by myself, huh? You get all the new hardware with it. You get all the Torx drivers. You want to hand it to me? You want me to just pick it up?
You do it.
And you're not going to help me at all, huh?
Hey, do I look stupid? Well, folks, we've run out of time. We'll see you again next time here on Motorhead Garage.